Next, we're joined by Steve Klinsky. He's the founder and CEO of the Modern States Education Alliance, a nonprofit dedicated to making a high-quality college education free of cost and accessible to any person who seeks one. Today, college systems with more than 2 million students have affiliated with the Alliance in New York, Texas, Ohio, Indiana, and Tennessee. Welcome, Steve.
Thank you. Thanks for having me.
So tell us, you think college should be accessible and free of costs?
Well, yeah, we think everyone should have a right to go to college, and they shouldn't be closed out for affordability. And so what we've done is there's a new site called modernstates.org that looks like Netflix, but it has about 40 college courses from top professors from around the country, totally for free, with free textbooks that lead to credit at 2,900 major colleges.
Wow. Okay. And how did this come about? And your involvement in this organization?
Yeah, I've been involved in education reform for a long time. I started the first charter school in the state of New York. I started after-school centers. I run Harvard's Board for Public Education Policy. And, you know, there's $1.4 trillion of student debt now. It's getting more and more unaffordable. 5 million students take online courses today, but they basically cost as much as going to class physically. And there's been some free courses from great schools called MOOCs, but they don't lead to credit. So the idea was have a set of courses that actually lead to credit, and that's what we've done on modernstates.org.
Do you think a lot of states are moving in the right direction on this front? Because I know here in New York now they're trying to create paths to free or reduce cost college.
Well, there's a lot of great initiatives. The thing about this one is this one actually exists now. So we've all the courses are on the website now. Students are passing, and the way you get credit is there's a test that the College Board has had for 50 years known as the CLEP exam. So they do the advanced placement exams, which are great, and we have those courses, but those are only for high schoolers in May. CLEP exams, which stands for College Level Examination Program, can be used by anybody at any age, and you can take the test any day of the week. So, for example, you can take chemistry from a Columbia professor on our site with free textbooks, and then we're paying for the first 10,000 people to take the CLEP as part of our charity. And the most it costs, even if we don't give it, is only $85 for the CLEP exam to College Board. So instead of paying $1,000 or $2,000 a course, you either get it free from us or for $85 with our free course.
That didn't exist in my day, Monica. Did it?
No.
No. It didn't exist until about last month. We spent about 3 years. I started writing about this back in 2012, and when we couldn't change public policy, we actually started hiring the best professors in the country and producing courses, and it's taken us 3 years to create the set of courses. It's like producing 40 or so different movies to create the textbooks. They're all available. We started over the summer. There's already 30,000 students on the site.
Wow.
And hundreds are taking and passing these courses. But it's only been really up and running since September. So we're here just to let people know it exists. It's like a public library in town that never used to exist.
Wow. So what kind of feedback are you getting from the students who access the site?
Yeah, it's really great, and we're in the process of putting together a video of the people, but it really helps a lot of people of all different types. So the first student who ever passed a course with us was this summer. He's a 17-year-old homeschooler in the state of Washington named William Rush. I called him up to congratulate him. I said, "William, do you want to go to college?" He says, "No, I want to be an electrician." But since then, he's taken 7 more college courses, so maybe he'll change. Another example, we just got a letter from a mom who has a very sick kid who's at the National Institute of Health, a 5-year-old, and she spends every day in the waiting room at the National Institute of Health and was enrolled in a college for tuition, but has been taking our courses on her iPhone in the waiting room and passing courses for free. So, I mean, and there are people who were 1 credit away from graduating, ran out of money, couldn't finish, took our course to graduate. So it's for anybody, any age, anywhere. It's just available now.
So ultimately, they take the course on your website, but then they pass the CLEP exam, correct?
Yes, the CLEP exam is what's been around for 50 years that gives that, you know, if you go to Purdue or Michigan State or Colorado State, they accept the CLEP test. We give the course and the books to train you for the CLEP, and we're paying for the first 10,000 people to take the exams. And after that, we're trying to get more donors, or it's $85.
From Facebook, we're saying, this is great. Freshman year is the most wasted year. So a lot of your freshman year is spent taking general education courses.
Right. Or you could do it for 1 course, 4 courses. We call it freshman year for free because 8 courses is basically a freshman year. But you know, you can use it however you want. You can be a teacher and use it to help your own kids in your own class as a teaching aid. You could learn help, just use it like Khan Academy to learn the material, but it does lead to credit through the CLEP exam.
So the student loan crisis is calling into question the validity of a college degree. Do you think, something we talked about earlier, is a college degree still relevant in today's world?
Well, I mean, you would hate to have the student loan crisis prevent people from getting a real college degree, and it's still, there's lots of ways to get educated, but we're trying to help people get through the regular college system, and our allies are actually the major, as you started off by mentioning at the beginning, the major state universities like State University of New York, all the public colleges in Ohio, Texas State. People we've talked to are really embracing this because they want an on-ramp to education for, for whoever wants to get an education.
Is there a plan to bring in private universities? I actually spent my freshman year at Wilberforce University in Ohio.
Great school.
Yes, it is. And I wonder, how have they embraced this? Because the cost of education is twice as high there.
Well, what you have to do, and I actually knew Floyd Flake and Marshall Mitchell, who were part of Wilberforce at one point, but you have to look in the catalog, the admissions catalog of whatever school you're interested in, and they already have a page about CLEP exams, whether they accept them or not.
Oh, very
And basically, I don't know about Wilberforce, but for example, in Michigan, University of Michigan doesn't, but Michigan State, where my brothers went, does. So I think the major state universities and many other private universities accept them, and they have for 50 years.
So more or less, how much of a head start can this give you? Can this take out most of your general education requirements?
Well, we actually have 40 courses on the site. They're basically the freshman courses, the sociology, microeconomics, chemistry, and you couldn't get a 4-year degree with them, but you can certainly get a freshman year with them. And if you need 1 or 2 courses to graduate, you could also fill in with them. So it's usable a lot of ways.
A lot of people check off that box, some college, and they didn't finish. So you're seeing a lot of people finishing their degrees then.
Yeah, well, it's one way to finish your degree if you run out of money or you just, we think it's great to go to 4-year college physically, but if you can't afford it, here's a way to help afford it.
nice.
So what's your advice for people who think that college is out of reach? So first they can go to your website, right?
Well, they can help themselves a lot just by going to modernstates.org and then get a lot of courses done for free. And we're even paying the testing exams now. And
How much are those typically?
They're $85 from the College Board, and we're paying for the first 10,000 test takers as part of our charity. And then beyond that, keep trying, look for financial aid, and hopefully people can achieve their goal.
Wow. I mean, very innovative idea, working within the system in order to get credits. Did it take you guys a long time to kind of zero in on this idea?
Yeah, we started working in 2012. I started writing editorials on my own. Then I teamed up with a person who ran under a post-secretary of education under Obama and Bush as my co-writer. But it was too hard to change public policy overall. And starting in 2014, we started actually creating the courses, and it's taken us 3 years, and now we've launched it. So that's modernstates.org. It looks like Netflix, and the courses are just there if you want them.
Great idea. Steve Klinsky saying thank you so much for joining us.
Well, thank you very, very much for letting me tell people.
Of course.